Test 1, test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, everybody. Test 1, 2, test 1, 2.
I just laugh, put my kicks up on their wrist, unaffected by their threats, man get busy on they, see that's how that shit down big, man, that's how my daddy raised, man, that glittering may not be gold, don't let nobody play, man, if you are my homeboy, you never have to pay, man, don't and put your hands up, in times is how you stand up, if you be the man, cause the brand that the fans trust, so even if they ban us, they'll never slow my plans up.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Testing 1, 2, test 1, 2, 3.
They hip hop only destroy. Tell them look at me, boy. Your son don't have a gun and never be a D-boy. The show goes on all night till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see us thunder? Just remember when you come on, the show goes on all right. Already the show goes on all night till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see us thunder? You been through, no matter what you into, no matter what you see, when you look outside your window, brown grass or green grass, picket fence or barbed wire, never ever put them down, you just lift your arms higher, raise them till your arms tighter, let them know you there, that you struggling, surviving, that you gon' persevere, yeah, ain't nobody leaving, nobody going home, even if they turn the lights out, the show is going on.
I'm just going to leave this here.
Dearly beloved, if this love only exists in my dreams, don't wake me up.
10 game on Davis Street. We're in the blue range. We're 12th right now.
Too much light in this window. Don't wake me up. Only coffee, no sugar. Inside my cup.
How'd they do last year?
4 games against
If I wake in your history, give me a kiss.
They're 4-0 against Big South and
I wasn't finished dreaming about your lips.
that's good.
So wake me up.
This video stream of Campbell Athletics is brought to you by Buffalo Lanes. Buffalo Lanes is your place for family fun. With 4 locations in the area, including one just down the road in Irwin, Buffalo Lanes is bowling at its best. Visit them today at buffalolanes.com.
Playing like a bunch of sissies out there today. We may be down, but we're not out. All we got to do to win this game today, gentlemen, is to remember one thing. It's bow time!
Grab a big bow box and hit your tailgate party with a 12-piece super tailgate special. Bojangles, it's bow time!
We invited people to try CenturyLink Prism TV. Here's what happened.
It's like a smartphone for your TV.
It's incredible. It's fast. It's furious.
I think it's fantastic.
The menu's great. It's awesome to just look up an actor or a movie.
I really like the fact that there was no lag time when you were changing channels.
So where you been with this thing?
I might have to switch.
Experience Prism TV yourself.
Hey, Peyton. Welcome back.
Thanks, Papa. What are we going to do to kick off this season?
Same thing as last season. 1 million free Papa John's pizzas.
Good idea. 2 million free pizzas. I like it.
No. 1 million free Papa John pizzas.
2 million pizzas it is. Let's do it.
All season long, Papa John's has 2 million free pizzas for Papa Rewards members. Sign up now at papajohns.com, where a large meatball and pepperoni pizza is $11, or any large $1 more.
Better ingredients?
Better pizza.
Papa John's. Really? 2 million free pizzas?
Wait till you see what's next.
S&S Entertainment is a local company that provides inflatables, concessions, games, and more for birthday parties, company picnics, school events, and church outreach programs. If you would like more information, log on to their website at s&sentertainment.com or call 910-890-6339. S&S Entertainment, making Campbell Game Day even more memorable.
Did you know that glass is endlessly recyclable? These days, most glass bottles and jars produced in the United States now contain at least 25% recycled glass. And manufacturing recycled glass requires 75% less energy to produce than making it from new materials. So please put your glass where it belongs, in the recycling bin. Brought to you by Waste Management.
State Farm, this is Jessica.
Hey, Jessica, it's Jerry Newman.
Jerry, how are you doing?
Fine, I just got a little fender bender. You know, it's funny, it only took 15 minutes to sign up with that new auto insurance company, but it's taken a lot longer to hear back.
Oh, Jerry, I'm so sorry.
I would love to help, but remember you dropped us last month.
I miss you, Jessica.
Jerry, are you crying?
No, I bit my tongue.
Count on your local State Farm agent for that personal service you're crying for.
Get to a better state. State Farm.
Hey, Peyton. Welcome back.
Thanks, Papa. What are we going to do to kick off this season?
Same thing as last season. 1 million free Papa John's pizzas.
Good idea. 2 million free pizzas. I like it.
No. 1 million free Papa John pizzas.
2 million pizzas it is. Let's do it.
All season long, Papa John's has 2 million free pizzas for Papa Rewards members. Sign up now at papajohns.com, where a large meatball and pepperoni pizza is $11, or any large $1 more.
Better ingredients?
Better pizza.
Papa John's. Really? 2 million free pizzas?
Wait till you see what's next.
Hey Campbell fans, this is Laura Yarbrough with RE/MAX Signature Realty in Lillington, your top producing realtor since 2002. Did you know that right now you can buy a home for less than what you pay in rent? Buy or sell a home with me, Laura Yarbrough, and receive season tickets to the Campbell team of your choice. See you at the game.
Appreciate your enthusiastic support of the Fighting Camels in South Conference. Hello, everybody. Welcome live to Eakes Athletic Complex on the campus of Campbell University as we get set for Big South Conference soccer, as the Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina, ranked 12th in the country, come in to take on the Fighting Camels of Campbell. Hello, everybody. Chris Ameyer with you. Former Lehigh defender and Patriot League champion Leah Culp is alongside. Charlie and his crew set to bring you these wonderful pictures on a fantastic night for soccer in the 70s today. It's going to get down to the low 60s. It feels like fall soccer weather. We'll have the starting lineups for you after we break for the prayer and the national anthem.
We have to come out and enjoy this athletic competition.
Watch over the participants and keep them from harm, and all of us in your care. We ask that you be with our men and women in uniform overseas and with their families here at home. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Now time for the starting lineups as we bring you the Big South Network, brought to you by our friends at State Farm. This Campbell broadcast also brought to you by our local friends at Buffalo Lanes. Here are the starting lineups for both the teams. First, for the visiting Coastal Carolina, Chanticleers from just a couple hours down the road in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. What a year they have had, as they truly are a perennial power in soccer around these parts and around the nation. They are ranked 12th in the nation coming into this game. First in the Big South, 4-0 in the Big South, 9-1-2 overall are the shots. Here is their starting lineup. It looks like this. Federico Bertelli will be in goal. The 10 in front of him, Uchenia Ozo, Kjartan Sugardson, Henrik Robstadt, Ashton Bennett, Justin Portillo, Tevin Skyers, Pedro Ribeiro, Sean McLaws, and Matt Risher. Those are the 11 for Coastal Carolina. Here's your starting lineups tonight for the Campbell Fighting Camels. Camel, so far this season, comes in with a record of 7-3-1. They are 5th in the Big South at 2-2. And Ethan Hall will be the goalkeeper, the 3rd best in the Big South with the goals against average at 0.89. The 11 in front of him look like this: Travis Golden, Aleksi Tossavainen, Eduardo Rodriguez, Scooter Oliver, Ricky Gaez, who is tied for the team lead with 4 goals. Mitch Cardenas in the top 20 all-time scoring here at Campbell University. The senior captain gets the start once again. Justin Franz will be with him in the midfield. Ben Imes is a defender wearing number 13 tonight. Bryce Miller, Isaiah Page are the other 2 that fill out this 11 for the Fighting Camels in their special gold uniforms, celebrating the golden anniversary of Campbell soccer. This the 50th season of Campbell soccer. Chris A. Meyer with you, Leah Culp alongside, and it is going to be just a fantastic game. This is the 12th ranked team in the country, and you read about what Coastal Carolina has done this year, and it really just kind of blows the mind, even for them, and they have been a soccer power now for some time. They have just a fantastic record, 9-1-2 overall. Their only loss was their 2nd game of the season at the time, the 3rd ranked team in the country, Charlotte. Charlotte, of course, the national runner-up last year. They tied at Ohio State. They tied with Bowling Green. They have a 10-game unbeaten streak. The only unfortunate part of this great matchup tonight is tomorrow starts fall break here at Campbell University, so a soccer atmosphere that would usually be noisy and filled up. The students have gone home, so there aren't as many as would be out here, especially for a matchup of this caliber. Leah Culp joins me now, and Leah, when you're facing a team like this, not only a conference foe, but one of the top 15 in the nation, it doesn't take a lot for you to get your energy up, and Campbell, quite frankly, knows that they need this if they want to keep their hopes of a conference crown alive.
Definitely. Campbell has done really well at home this year. They haven't lost. Their only losses coming at 3 road games this year, and maybe not as much of a crowd and that sense of a home field advantage, but definitely being able to get up for a big game when you have a ranked opponent on your home turf. You want to defend your turf and you want to win games on that field.
The sun has gone down, still some blue in the sky, partly cloudy, but we're not expecting any rain. The temperature's in the 60s. It has cooled down a bunch since the sun went down, and it is just some perfect fall weather for soccer. An early cross here, forcing a diving header pushed out and over the inline that time. So Coastal Carolina certainly on the attack. This is a team that can score a bunch of goals. They come into this game 12 games, 27 goals, and it has been some lopsided affairs in the Big South Conference. They are 4-0 in the Big South Conference, outscoring their opponent 13-0. Here is an early corner kick. We're just 30 seconds in. Coming from the near side, it is lofted in. Cardenas gets a head on it, not all the way cleared. It's pushed back in, and Hall forced into some early action. Leah, we saw Ethan Hall pitch a shutout here the last time they were at home against Virginia Tech. He has been Johnny on the spot all year and has done such a great job for them.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's part of the reason that they stay in the game tonight. I mean, coming right off that kickoff, Coastal coming down at the end, earning a corner kick and getting a shot on goal. I mean, that's a pretty impressive way to just start off the game. I'm sure they're going to have many more shots on goal, and Ethan Hall has done a great job this year of just doing his job. Every time I've asked any of the players about it, they're like, oh, we just expect that of him. We expect him to come up and make those big saves. So I'm sure even with the added pressure tonight playing a ranked opponent, I'm sure he will make the saves that he needs to make.
Campbell in the gold jerseys and Eduardo Rodriguez getting it up to Bryce Miller. Miller back to Rodriguez. He'll kick it all the way back to Tossavainen. Up to Miller. Miller tries to touch in the center to Page. Page can't get there. And the ball goes down, beating the offsides that time for Coastal Carolina is a ferocious hit by Ashton Bennett. Wow. Bennett hit the heck out of that ball, I think. Hall might have gotten a hand on that, didn't went off the post. It looked like for sure that was going over, bounced off the woodwork, and he was able to track it down.
It almost looked like the Coastal forwards were offsides. The sidelines referee was a little bit hesitant in putting his flag up, and he runs through. He's definitely got a lot of speed and able to get that shot off. You know, usually as a defender, you can get your feet set and try to block the cross, or the shot, if not slide forward. And that time he took it before Aleksi could get there, and there you are. There you see Ethan Hall coming up already making saves.
Scooter Oliver with an ambitious effort there from 30 yards out. It goes wide. You can see the beautiful sunset here at Eakes Athletic Complex as the crowd starting to roll in, a little late arriving as we are 0-0 here, nearly 3 minutes in. And you can tell with the black jerseys of Coastal Carolina, there's a different pace to them, Leah. They are definitely one of the quickest teams that we have seen all year.
Definitely up front, you see those quick on the through ball being able to step through and run through. But I wouldn't say that Campbell doesn't have that speed. I think they are able to match it on both sides of the ball.
And you can tell that Campbell, after kind of taking that initial flurry at the beginning, they realize what pace they have to pick up to get this team. Good cross in. But Coastal will come out of it there with a touch is Justin Portillo. This is a Coastal Carolina team, kind of a hodgepodge of players from all over the world and a lot of transfers too. I mean, they come from all over, and we'll tell you a little bit more about them, but a lot of internationals on this team indeed.
They definitely have a good size too. They're very tall, and you know, I mean, same with Campbell, but we have a few smaller players in the midfield. Mitch has some height, but Scooter Oliver and Justin Franz, you know, are going to have to get up and challenge for the headers and any 50-50 balls that come into their way.
Campbell's own international from Finland. Tossavainen will get it up to Rodriguez. Rodriguez hitting in the middle, Scooter Oliver. Oliver, after an injury that kept him down for the middle of the season, back into the starting lineup. Rodriguez is going to come out, try to cross it in, looking for Miller, but it's kicked away. 5 minutes in, no score. A couple of good chances already from Coastal Carolina. Officially 2 shots on the board, both teams forcing the issue here early. Rodriguez coming up, getting the deflection and trying to ball to Gaez, but unsuccessful. Campbell will throw it in. Gaez with 4 goals to lead Campbell this season. Mitch Cardenas also tied for the lead in goals with 4. There is Miller, and it's a battle in the box. Miller keeps a hold of it, but loses it over the inline. He thought he was bumped a little too much, and the official coming in and talking to both of the players. Since Coastal Carolina is in their black uniforms with the teal accents, the officials are in the dark blue today.
Another thing I noticed about just glancing at the roster, Coastal has 7 players in their starting lineup that are freshmen and sophomores. I mean, you wouldn't, with their record, you wouldn't necessarily think that. They're maybe inexperienced. They've got a lot of younger players, but a lot of players that are making an impact this year as they're 4-0 in the Big South so far.
They have a darn good goalkeeper as well. Federico Bertelli is a sophomore, 5'10", 176 pounds from Italy. You can see him right there getting a touch on the ball. He's from Italy, and so far this season he leads the Big South Conference, a minuscule goals against average of 0.63 per game, and he has played in 10 games. There has only been 1 game this season where Coastal has allowed more than 1 goal. That was a 3-3 tie with Bowling Green back on September 9th. They are in the midst of a 10-game unbeaten streak. The only time they were beaten, their second game of the season back at August 27th at then number 3 ranked Charlotte. So the resume speaks for itself. 6 minutes in, no score. Campbell, after an initial flurry, has taken a few punches well and putting some pressure on in their own right. Rodriguez, nice feint into the middle. Page has it, tries to go around the defender, but the touch a little too strong. Bertelli was there, but some good movement up front for the Fighting Camels.
So far the difference I've seen in play is Coastal has liked to play bigger balls from their defenders out over top and have their quick forwards try to run onto and make some plays. I mean, they had a shot in the first 5 minutes. It was effective. Campbell definitely likes to play on the ground, try to play through feet, little give and go action. We'll see how those two styles of play kind of combat each other as the game moves on.
The back line on their toes. That's Justin Franz getting out to the mid-stripe. And Coastal on the attack. A little too tough with the touch. It goes over the inline. You look at this starting lineup, and I'll just read you the countries from the starters out there in the black jerseys are from. Italy, Nigeria, Iceland, Jamaica, Norway, Jamaica, Brazil. And then we have the 3 guys from the U.S., Edmond, Oklahoma, Charlotte, just up the road, and also New Orleans. It is certainly an eclectic mix. I don't know what they decide to watch or listen to on the bus. Might be some interesting conversations. Back to Hall. Hall getting it away as there's the Jamaican international Ashton Bennett putting some pressure on Hall. No score. 7 minutes in from Bowie's Creek, North Carolina. Big South Network brought to you by State Farm. Campbell, a web streaming brought to you by Buffalo Lanes. Working with it on the side is Henrik Robstad from Norway. It's going to be a last touch on the defense by Oliver, and it'll be another corner kick for Coastal. And Leah, the last time they got a corner kick, their only other corner kick in the game, it was number 8, Justin Portillo, that put it right in there in the 6-yard box. So they're going to be dangerous from the corner all night.
You have to expect teams like this and Campbell as well to be dangerous on free kicks and free opportunities, but at the same time you have to raise your level defensively, make sure no one is left unmarked, and try to be the first to the ball.
And they have 4 in the box, 4 packed into the 6-yard box as Portillo looks and kicks it strong. It is headed up in the air, still dangerous. Hall comes out and all he can do is punch it with 2 fists. Still not cleared. It's in the 18. Working with it on the outside is Matt Risher. Risher being hounded as Page comes back to play some defense. It'll go over the inline and be a goal kick. So all things even there. Some good defense, some good scrambling defense from Campbell on the back line.
Campbell definitely needs to stay patient defensively. Coastal has a lot of quick players up top. They're going to want to try to get into the space and go forward, but with the ball on their feet, they're probably going to try to do some tricky stuff. And if Campbell can just stay low, keep their center of gravity low, and be patient like Isaiah was right there, they're going to force Coastal to make mistakes.
Hyde is able to knock it back off the back line, and it'll come up to Gaez. Gaez in a battle, but the throw in goes to Coastal. No score, 10 minutes in. Coastal ranked 12th in the country. Campbell has taken down a couple of ranked teams so far this season, but this is the most decorated team they will face this season. They took down NC State, ranked 17th in the country. 2-0 up in Raleigh a month ago. Here's a good combination, Bennett and Portillo. It'll be knocked away to safely, and Coastal showing that they have not only good ball skills in space in that front line, they have a lot of speed and quickness.
Definitely trying to find those gaps between the outside backs and center backs. They're going to run through there all day. Center midfielders for Coastal are going to try to spring balls through there into the corners for them to run onto. And then once they get deep in the end, they're going to try to keep us here and not let them get out before putting the ball in the back of the net.
Sean McLaw setting up for a long throw, gets it to the 6-yard stripe. It's headed straight up in the air. The ball is loose and nailed in on the far side by Ashton Bennett. Bennett out of Jamaica makes easy work of that ball, and unfortunately there it was a long throw, and the initial clearance was straight up in the air. That was dangerous, and Coastal made Campbell pay.
You know, I could see that happening before the ball even went in the back of the net. Someone on the back post who you think you're marking, but being 2-3 yards off someone isn't marking enough, you know, especially when he can volley it in the back of the net like that. Definitely give him credit for hitting that ball really well first time, not even needing to settle it down before striking it.
So in the 11th minute in this game, the 34-40 mark to be exact in the first half, Ashton Bennett is able to get it in. The assist by Ribeiro officially. So Bennett able to get it in off of what I would believe that the Campbell defense and coaching staff would tell you, unfortunately, a little bit of mistake on the initial clearance. And I think we saw right there, and we'll see as this game goes on, Leah, a team as good in Coastal, you almost have to be perfect, because when they have their chances, they're going to finish.
Definitely, like I said, need to be patient defensively. You let up for 5 seconds there and they put the ball in the back of the net. I mean, that's what happens when you get in these high-level games. It doesn't take much of a mistake for them to capitalize and, you know, score a goal. So Campbell's definitely going to need to be more careful, and now that they're down a goal, they're going to also need to generate some offense. They can't continue to just play defensively.
An early 1-0 lead, and Campbell was generating some chances on the offensive end, but Coastal taking advantage of theirs. Gotten a couple of good shots off. Here's Page working up the far side. Page is a freshman that has really admittedly found his own here in the last couple of weeks. He's a speedster up the left side, and there is a foul behind the play. Originally it was an advantage for Page, and then tumbling behind him, another Campbell player trying to go in. I believe that's Scooter Oliver. No, Justin Franz came in and got fouled. So here's a chance for Campbell. Mitch Cardenas on the far side. The captain loves these set pieces here. He can get them to the top of the box and beyond, and that's where the gold jerseys are packed in. It's an ambitious try to the far post, and great clearance that time that will result in a corner kick. Boy, Pedro Ribeiro out of Brazil able to get a head on it. He's a tall one back there on the back line, standing 6'3", 208 pounds, and he was able to get a head on what was just a fantastic direct kick that time from Mitch. Mitch was looking for his 29th assist. He has 28. That is 8th all-time for Campbell. Corner kick comes in. Page gets up, puts the head down, and it just is blocked off the goal line.
Travis Golden looked like he was celebrating like it might have been over the line, but hard for the refs to see that with lots of bodies in the box. You never know. I mean, you got to put that one in so it makes the net move so that the refs can see it.
Wow. And to the assistant official's credit, he was right at the corner on the line from the corner. And you don't see much more of a protest for the rest of the team. That was a brilliant setup, and Page almost even this game. What a goal that would have been. Nearly 15 minutes in, Coastal Carolina leads 1-0. And a direct kick on a violation will bring Coastal around the other way. It's crossed to the far side. Henrik Robstad. Robstad trying to find his man up front, cannot as Hall gets there. Looking for Skyers, but nothing doing. Campbell trying with a quick counter. Stepping in front of it is Jamie Hyde.
Campbell
on the back line, Travis Golden clears. Leah?
Campbell definitely has to be anticipating what's going to happen next. Coastal likes to play a fast-paced game. Their defenders are stepping in, trying to break up the passes coming in, and their forwards are jumping on any mistake that the back line is going to make. So they need to be anticipating everything that's happening so that they can match their quickness of game. They need to be urgent, just like Coastal has been thus far.
Boy, another good cross, a good combination there started by Page up the side, and Campbell putting a little pressure and giving it right back to Coastal here. Rodriguez and Gaez try the 1-2. Unsuccessful. Scooter Oliver is up there trying to run it down. But Coastal with the control, and here's the clearance. Tossavainen challenging that time, gets the header, goes up over Skyers. Franz has been all over the place. He'll take a tumble. No call. Will go back the other way. Bennett has it in the middle, then loses it. Franz comes back, and here comes Campbell. Ricky Gaez changing fields. Miller gets it to Cardenas. Cardenas tries across, and Page will run it down. Page has some room, and there's not a lot of black shirts over there. Page working, tries to get it through. And Coastal with the clearance. Campbell getting the best of play over the past couple of minutes. What are they doing right, Leah?
You know, I think they're definitely utilizing the outsides. Mitch has been able to get out on that left side and get some crosses in the box. That's where they can be dangerous. Coastal's playing in a 4-3-3, so they've got those three center midfielders and definitely have space on the outsides to get around and try to cross things in. You saw Isaiah on the right side. He only had one defender to beat before he could probably get a shot on goal as well.
Working it down now is Coastal on the counter. Ribeiro, that had the assist as he popped that header straight up, is able to get it to Bennett. Bennett unleashes a shot. It's a diving save by Hall, and a great job of controlling that and not letting it go out for a corner kick.
Part of what Ethan said makes his job easier is having the four defenders in front of him, making his job easier, and they have let up a few shots tonight. They definitely need to start trying to get a leg in front of those shots so that they can help Ethan have an easier time back there.
Imes, Golden, Tossavainen, and Rodriguez are the four that you'll see in the back most often. There's Tossavainen wearing the headband, able to head it up, but it's controlled by Portillo. Portillo, the Crescent City native out of New Orleans, will get it to Ribeiro. Ribeiro back to Portillo. Portillo working his way through. He'll get it to Bennett. Bennett turns. Nice back to Portillo, and right at the top of the box, it's a direct kick. Boy, a heck of a combination up front. And it'll be a direct kick from really a foot outside of the 18 mark, directly in the center of the circle from the penalty box. So Coastal will be able to have it in a very dangerous area.
Definitely think Coastal's going to try to shoot on the first touch here. In good shooting range, will probably set up a wall, and Ethan will pick a side of the goal. He'll probably try to hit it, curve it around the wall where Ethan isn't. We've seen Mitch score on a lot of free chances like this, so wouldn't be surprised if they just try to shoot right off the front of this one.
Portillo is standing over the ball. He has 2 goals this year, but he leads this team with 5 assists for Coastal. There's a bunch of others hovering around, including Ribeiro. Boy, Ribeiro is all legs out there at 6'3". Ribeiro is going to take the approach, chip it over the wall. Hall is there. Didn't know if that was a shot or just a little chip over the wall. It didn't look like it had enough pace under it that he was hoping to score, but nonetheless, Campbell has control and will bring it out. 1-0, Coastal has scored on a Bennett goal in the 11th minute. 2 shots from Campbell, 5 shots from Coastal. Coastal gets the ball back, it's Bennett. Bennett pushes it forward to Ribeiro. Ribeiro has the ball taken from Imes. Imes over to Cardenas. Cardenas pops it and tries to cross the field. Good movement over on that side by Gaez, and he'll draw the penalty. Imes hits it up, tries to cross fields, and it almost gets by, and Tevin Skyers out of Jamaica is there instead. It's an ambitious ball across the pitch as it's gathered up and pushed back by Imes. Imes gets it to Hall. Hall will bring it out to Tossavainen.
Hall definitely having to play a lot more with his feet tonight. His defensive line being pressured all the way back into their 18-yard box.
Miller has the ball, but is dispossessed by Uzo out of Nigeria. Ochina Uzo. The pronunciation guide is almost as long as the original roster here for Coastal Carolina. Again, starting 9 from outside the United States. The combination has worked. Bryce Miller going after the ball, and there's going to be a late call there. They think that Miller trying a little too hard to save that ball from the end line. He got most of the defender down there, and he will not get a card. And slow to get up on the end line is Jamie Hyde. 25-15 to go in this opening half. We are 20 minutes in, 1-0 the score. Bennett with the goal after the Ribeiro assist. 12th ranked Coastal Carolina on top of this Big South Conference. They have been dominant in conference play, outscoring their opponents 13-0. Tossavainen from the defense is going to bring it all the way up and try to get it through. He will be unable to. And Coastal senses that with the defender up in the box, they have a chance for a counter. They have rotated back, however. Coastal does not have numbers. Doesn't matter. Skyers is going to come down and start the break. They're trying to thread it through to Bennett. They can't get it to him. Back to Portillo. Portillo with the cross, nothing doing. Imes will step up. He'll get it to Franz, and here comes Campbell. Dangerous 50-50 ball, and winning that ball is Robstad. Hall's able to gather it from the back. Campbell trying to get some sustained pressure up front now. Good boot for Hall. Bennett goes to it. A little bit more aggressive that time is Imes. 1-0 to score. 12th ranked Coastal leading. Here's Tevin Skyers, the Jamaican native, weaving his way through to the middle of the field. Looks for Bennett, also from Jamaica. Bennett has it up top, one touch, now another, tries to unleash a shot. Good save by Tossavainen there. And then the ball almost touched on the far side from Richer, but nothing doing. Campbell dodges a bullet. Good job by Tossavainen to get in the way. Mitch streaking up the far side.
Both teams needing to do a better job of keeping possession once they win the ball back. Campbell just won the ball back 2-3 times in a row, but can't quite collect possession and move forward from this point. Coastal doing a good job of putting the pressure on winning the ball back once they've lost it as well.
Bryce Miller and Uzo in a battle up front. We talked about the international flavor to this Coastal team. Also, a bunch of transfers in the starting lineup. Got a transfer from North Florida, Houston Baptist, Cincinnati State, Marshall. So certainly pieced together from all over the place. But as you said, Leah, as well, they might have come from all over, but they're a very young team. And when you're this young and ranked 12th in the country, the future looks more than bright.
Definitely a powerhouse in the Big South, and they have players coming in, and maybe that says something about their bench as well. Maybe the older players they do have a deep bench, and they can come on and make just as much of an impact as these younger players are doing, and maybe that's why they also have as good of a record as they do.
22 minutes to go here in the opening half. 1-0 the score. Eakes Athletic Complex on the campus of Campbell University. First in the Big South and 12th ranked in the nation, Coastal taking on Campbell. Bennett with the goal in the 11th minute. Came off a corner kick. A header was popped straight up in the air by Ribeiro. And Bennett was there for an easy volley from about 8 yards. Campbell trying to put together some sustained pressure. They've gotten a couple shots on goal, including a header by Page off a corner kick that almost went in. It'll go all the way back to Golden. Golden gets it up. Nice flick by Miller. Nobody on the end of it. And Bertelli comes out and gathers it up. Coastal maybe in more of a fight at this point of the season than they thought in the Big South Conference. Compared to last year, every team in the Big South seems to have made steps forwards. The teams that were in the middle of the pack are inching towards the front. Only really UNC Asheville, a team that has had trouble getting wins this year. Asheville overall 0-5 in the conference, 1-11 But at the top, Coastal, they're not all alone in first place. Radford is right there with them, a team that beat Campbell earlier in the year. Both the teams are 4-0, and right behind them, High Point that's ranked in the top 25. High Point is 3-0-1. So 3 undefeated teams in conference at the top of this conference. Popped up in the air. Campbell trying to get something going, and it'll be back to Bertelli. Chris Ameyer with you, Leah Culp alongside, Charlie Price and the crew, bringing you the beautiful pictures tonight as night has fallen in Bowies Creek, North Carolina. These two teams, rivals of sorts. They are so close, they've pretty much played each other in every sport for a long time. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Conway to be more exact of where the campus is of Coastal, just about 2 hours down the road. This is just the second year back in the Big South for Campbell University. Under 20 minutes to go in the opening half.
Campbell seems to have settled down, finally matched the physicality that and pressure that Coastal was putting on in those first few minutes there when they got their shots and finally got that goal. But Campbell kind of realizing that they need to play with a little bit more urgency, a little bit more fight. You see them getting knocked off the ball a little bit, and some players talking to other players saying, you know, you need to get stuck in there. You can't quite get knocked off the ball because some of these times the ref isn't going to call it, and then Coastal will have a counterattack. So Campbell rising to the occasion, realizing that they just need to, you know, pick it up a little bit. Got a little bit of shock in the first 10-15 minutes there.
And again, you can make a very good argument that this should be a tie ball game. Page with a great chance off a corner kick. That was a great save by Bertelli to keep it from going over the goal line. Here's another long throw. This was dangerous and set up that first goal. There's a heck of a volley. It is deflected off and will be a corner kick for Coastal. They have been very dangerous on their set pieces. They scored on a long throw. This is one of those teams that you can't give these free chances down on their end to.
Like you just saw right there, they don't even think about taking a first touch. They are confident that their first touch can be a shot, and a shot on goal. If the defender wasn't there, that definitely would have tested Ethan Hall. And I'm sure that this corner kick will do the same. They've got a lot of tall guys in the box trying to put it in on that first touch.
Portillo is going to take the kick. Lines it up just outside the 6. There's a head put on it by Uzo, who comes in from the back. The Nigerian transfer out of Houston Baptist, wide of the post. And Hall will bring it up for the goal kick. 18 minutes exactly to go in this opening half. 1-0 the score. Coastal over Campbell. We look at the rest of the standings in the conference. I told you Coastal and Radford tied for first. High Point right behind, 3-0-1. By the way, High Point will be here in Bowies Creek on Wednesday, as this is part of a homestand where Campbell finds himself needing to make up some ground. Boy, that was a heck of a flick. Just missed Miller as Gaez almost got it through. Longwood is sitting in 4th place, but just for now. They have a couple of wins, but they've already played 9 games, the newest member of the conference, and they're just 2-6. Then it's Liberty at 2-1, Winthrop at 2-1, and Campbell at 2-2. All 3 teams have 6 points in the standings, and of course Liberty and Winthrop with a game in hand. And Campbell fighting to get into the top 8 spots, which gets you into the conference tournament, just the top 8. But more importantly, the top 4 this year get their quarterfinal match at their home field. And Campbell needing some wins to get back into that 4th spot. Here's a chance, Cardenas. Cardenas is going to drill it high, and it's going to be blocked into the wall, headed up. The ball still bouncing around, very dangerous, and it'll finally be cleared as Ribeiro gets it all the way down the other end. Hall playing way off his line, comes out to field it. And Franz will get it right back to him as shape is restored. Hall going wide, good ball. And Imes with a header that's pushed right back. Franz moving it through the midfield. He'll cross it over to Rodriguez. Rodriguez has a lot of room. Rodriguez with some room to maneuver. Gets it up to Gaez. Gaez is going to take it straight into the corner. A deflection, and now a fight for the ball. Trying to draw a corner is Gaez. Uzo is back there, and Uzo somehow gets the clearance off. Here's Rodriguez in a fight. Boy, good play from the back line for Coastal, being composed. Surely you thought that was going to be at the very least a corner kick for Campbell. Instead, we're going the other way.
Definitely a good progression for Campbell there. Franz finding Rodriguez out wide and him trying to make something happen there, but like we said before, they've been successful finding those wide spaces and being able to try to get some crosses in, try to make some plays happen from the outside, trying to get something into the box.
Gaez loses it. A good defense on the back line from Uzo. Oliver sprints in, and it'll go all the way back to Bertilli. Bertelli out of Italy. He's the North Florida transfer from Milano, Italy. 5'10", 176 pounds. 15.5 to go in this opening half. 1-0 the score. Coastal with the goal on a volley by Bennett off of a long throw. Got popped up in the air first by Ribeiro that officially gets that assist. Coastal from midfield will get the direct kick. That's going to go all the way back. I don't think Hall was expecting that to get through everybody, but he was able to catch it on one bounce. There were no black jerseys there. Campbell in the gold jerseys. Hall, their goalkeeper, in the orange.
Before Coastal took that kick, I was going to say, even though it's from half field, I've seen a lot of power on all of the kicks that they've had. I wouldn't be surprised if it made it into the box. And Ethan might not have been expecting it, but reacting well to his surroundings.
That's a good ball to Rodriguez. Rodriguez runs out of room in a hurry and just trying to get a touch. Really couldn't get enough power behind it for a shot. Nobody was up there for a cross. So credit Rodriguez, but let's credit the Coastal defense, Leah. Boy, they can make up a lot of ground in a hurry. They have speed all around this field, don't they?
They do. Like we said before, their forwards having a lot of speed, but again, in their backs as well. With a lot of younger players, and maybe they have fresher legs. Once you start to get older in your career, you might get a little worn out, but like you said, speed all over the field.
And Coastal trying to work something, but let's credit Campbell. They're getting very aggressive on all their lines now. The midfield winning that ball back. Here's Rodriguez that has been a busy customer up the right side. Miller's going to get a cross off, and that ball floats a little too far up and over. Good idea that time, and Leah, they're really finding some room on the right side. Again, it's room that is really cut down in a hurry by Coastal, but they are able to get something going up that far side.
Yeah, I think they will be successful if they keep trying to use the outside, but I think they need to pick and choose their times when to shoot and when to try to find someone in the box, on the floor, in the air. Coastal has done a really good job in the air clearing balls out, but can they find someone on an early ball running through, play a ball on the ground and try to get someone to just deflect it in the back of the net? We saw something. That's kind of how Coastal scored. They had someone play a ball in the box and it was deflected, and then someone gets a volley on it, and it's really hard to save as a goalkeeper when there's a laser coming to the back of the net like that. So let's see if Campbell can get some crosses in the box and try to make something happen. They need to get a few more players in the box. I've seen one or two, but can their progression forward be timed a little bit better so that their cross can happen with numbers in the box so that they can make something happen of their opportunities?
Juvie Francis comes into the game. He's the Jamaican spark plug that you can see there, working the ball up the far side. He had 2 goals in the last home game against Virginia Tech, and that shows you what he can do from the bench. Boy, he created that opportunity for himself between 2 black jerseys and got off a pretty good shot from 25.
Definitely. He's crafty with the ball on his feet and able to shoot from distance. Like to see him put that one on goal.
1-0 the score here, 12 minutes to go in the opening half. Coastal Carolina leads Campbell. It's the first goal scored on Campbell here at home this season. Of course, this is just the 4th regular season game they've played, but they've all been shutouts. Last 2, Loyola Maryland 2-0, and then beating Virginia Tech out of the ACC last Wednesday 3-0. They are 3-0 here at home, and if you go back to an exhibition against the Richmond Spiders on August 18th, they haven't lost a game, period. So home has been very good to Campbell here at Eakes Athletic Complex. There's another good service from the half stripe. And boy, that is quite a ball put in by Uzo. Coming back, Miller after the reset. And Coastal gathers things at midfield. Rodriguez back to Page. Page to Cardenas. Cardenas has it. And will give back to Franz. Franz to Rodriguez. Eduardo serving it in and coming out and making the grab on the far side, Bertelli. Bertelli not the tallest keeper, kind of like Hall, setting in at 5'10" or so. So they'll try to exploit that. On the counter, it's Coastal. In the center, Bennett. Bennett not afraid to shoot from there. He'll get it back. Portillo to the far side. It's a turn. And right there, Ben Imes. Ben Imes with a good piece of defending on the far side. Cardenas tries to get it back to Franz, the official, walking through the play. Coastal will unload. An ambitious shot that time from Henrik Robstad out of Norway. 10 minutes to go in this opening half. That is shot number 6 on the game for Coastal. Campbell has managed 3. It's 1-0, Chanticleers.
Campbell getting a lot of their chances off of these fast transition breaks, but not being able to slow Coastal down defensively. These transitions are happening so quickly, then Coastal's coming right back down and getting a turnover, being able to get a shot or two off. I think Campbell needs to settle down both offensively and defensively, try to slow the game down a little bit and try to compose, try to play the game that they want to play rather than playing too Coastal.
Isaiah Page there with a shot, and Leah, you have seen him over the last 2 games. He has really kind of come into his own as a freshman that is finally getting comfortable here at the collegiate level. He's worked himself into the starting lineup. He's from a long way away. They got him from Ontario, but he's 6 foot, 140 pounds, and he has really been playing well.
He definitely has. He definitely created a few goals against Virginia Tech, having a few assists in there, being able to hold the ball up well for his size. As a forward, he's definitely had a lot of pressure on his back tonight, but I think he's rising and trying to deal with that and try to toughen up a little bit so that he can hold the ball and his team can move forward into the offensive third.
There was a tangle there between Justin Franz and then Pedro Ribeiro. So 2 players getting tangled up, a little extracurricular as they both went to the ground, but the head official, who has done a pretty good job in what has been an intense and fast-paced matchup here, hasn't pulled out any cards yet, but a stern warning to both. He's given a couple of those, and there hasn't been any blatant fouls that have needed a card yet, but there's been some things that have needed to be addressed, and he has done exactly that. Looking for the far side, Rodriguez, who has been the right back but has been up in that position more than back so far tonight. Tries to get on the end of another cross. We'll have another substitution here. Sean McCormick comes into the ball game for Coastal Carolina. McCormick wearing number 15 out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, right there where Coastal is. Conway, just a little bit outside the city of Myrtle Beach, to be exact. There's a shot, forcing a save for Bertelli. Javon Francis showing why he is so valuable. He didn't start this game because he's recovering from knee surgery that happened last year at just about this time. So they are easing him back in. He already has 3 goals, including 2 against Virginia Tech last week, and that was a heck of a shot.
Definitely a threat in here. You saw him come in that first minute. He was in, he had a shot off, and there again, he's able to settle the ball with pressure right on him and being able to get a dangerous shot off.
Cardenas with an in-swing. There's a head. And Aleksi Tossavainen gets that at the 6, heads it down, and right there was Bertelli. So Campbell with a couple of good chances, forcing saves, and you can feel the momentum starting to swing back towards Campbell. Needless to say, it'd be unbelievable for this team to get one here in the final 7 minutes of the first half, down 1-0.
Campbell does lead in shots they trail in shots, 6-7. but you'd think that in the past few minutes they have had quite a few shots on goal. It feels like something might be happening for them.
Yeah, and let's face it, Bertelli has really been forced into a little bit more pressure than Hall. Hall has done a good job back there. The one goal was a volley that he could not get to. But Bertelli had to come up pretty big. And make no mistake about it, Coastal is an offensive juggernaut of a team, but they have a good defense back there too, a 0.63 goals against average. In fact, they have only allowed 8 goals in 12 games this season. Campbell pretty good themselves. They've allowed just 10 and 11. So both of these goalkeepers and these defenses doing a great job. 6 minutes to go in this opening half, 1-0. Chris Haymeyer with you, Leo Culp alongside Charlie Price and the crew bringing you these pictures. Here's Isaiah Page. Page makes a move. He's going to unload and score. Isaiah Page rips the net, and Campbell has tied the 12th ranked team in the country.
You saw the goalkeeper didn't even go for that one. Isaiah's in good shooting range, and he places that one in the back of the net, not even challengeable. Great job by that freshman. Just a nice cut move. No one's on him. He takes one more touch, puts that one in the back of the net. I mean, you have to have a lot of composure to be under pressure and be able to place that one so well.
If this is the first time you're watching Isaiah Page play this year, you might be surprised to learn that's his first goal on the college level. But he is finally, and I don't mean finally, but he is coming to his own here in the past couple of games. The last game against Virginia Tech, he told me that he finally felt like he contributed to a win. Well, he has contributed to this game so far. It is 1-1 with 5:30 to go here in the opening half.
Like we said, we kind of saw that one happening. Campbell had quite a few chances. They were getting a little bit of confidence. Coastal might have been settling in a little bit with their lead, and this is how the game of soccer is, and now Campbell's right back in it, 1-1 with 5 minutes to go to halftime.
So 39th minute, and this game is tied, but coming right back as you would expect, Coastal. Bennett gets a back heel and gets ridden down. Good shoulder-to-shoulder defense, and they're going to get a dive for Ashton Bennett. Ashton Bennett called for the dive. Ethan Hall goes out to console him.
Definitely a good job by Aleksi Tossavainen back there. As a defender, you have to get a little bit of your body and bump the forward. You can't knock him off the ball. You can't knock him over, but you have to make it hard for him to get through there. And Aleksi was in a great position. He definitely protected Ethan Hall. And there you go. You get a dive, and Campbell, again, preventing any shot being taken and protecting their goalie.
And now Campbell with the chance with 4:45 to go. And again, I know I'm a little biased and look through the world with orange-colored glasses every so often, but I like what the center official did there. That was probably one where he didn't have to get a card up for a dive, but he wants to let people know that he's not going to stand for any of that. And now a direct kick called, just as I compliment the officiating here. That'll give Coastal a pretty good chance from about 30 yards out.
Yellow card was displayed to number 7, Ashton.
Going down to the turf that time was Ribeiro. And now here with 4 minutes to go in this half, Coastal will line up for something.
Campbell legs definitely getting a little bit tired as this half wears on, but they need to continue to be patient defensively. I saw 3-4 guys dive in there, eventually leading to this foul.
The kick gets headed up on the wall. There's another volley attempt, but Hall is right there. Again, a dangerous play as the ball not cleared quickly off the line. That was McCormick, one of the subs for Coastal, able to get a foot on it. 3:40 to go in this first half. 1-1 the score, thanks to a 39th minute goal from Isaiah Page, his first as a collegiate, and they're going crazy in Canada tonight. The 12th ranked Chanticleers, after a fast start, getting all that they can handle from Big South foe Campbell. Here's Ribeiro. Ribeiro gets it to Bennett. Bennett working his way through the box. Tossavainen is right there and gets it back to Page. With the counter, Page moving through the middle, tries to hit Miller. Miller tried to tip it through and just not connecting. A little unlucky that time is Campbell.
Francis making a great run there, a looping run outside the defenders. He definitely had an open spot. If Isaiah had just taken maybe a half touch longer, he would have seen that play, but trying to thread Miller in and can't quite make that last pass.
Here's Coastal. Portillo, who has been all over the place, feeding it down. There's a cross, and nicely defended. Tossavainen again. He'll get it out of there in a hurry. And Juvie Francis, you can see his speed almost tracking that down. Instead, it goes out in front of the Coastal Carolina bench. Bennett will go out of the game for Coastal, as they will bring a substitution in. They'll bring into the game Ricky Garbanzo out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. Garbanzo. 2 minutes to go in this opening half. Leah?
I think Campbell's just trying to hold on here, trying to make it to halftime. Be able to go to halftime 1-1 and reflect on the mistakes they made early, and being able to come back from that. Always coming back from a goal deficit and tying it up going into halftime is a good thing.
Here's Mitch. Mitch has not gotten very many touches in this half, and that's not as much on Mitch as it is the defense for Coastal Carolina. Mitch now has it down in the corner, trying to work a corner kick, and he is doubled up, and they're going to get Mitch for a violation, so it'll come back out. Mitch Cardenas, really the guy that this offense usually goes through. Mitch, 28 assists and 18 goals in his Campbell career. Out of Mexico City, Mexico, grew up, went to high school in Houston, Texas. He is 8th all-time on the assist list here at Campbell, and he is in the top 20 in the all-time points list here at Campbell. And this being the 50th year of a very successful Campbell soccer program, that is saying a lot. 1 minute to go. We are tied at 1. Campbell trying to keep at the very least this game tied against the 12th ranked team in the country. Undefeated at home is Campbell. 3-0 to be exact. 4-0 if you count an exhibition game. There's Mitch with a good touch to Miller. Bartello has to come out, and Bertelli just able to scoop it up. 40 seconds to go in this half. And you're right, it's a little bit dangerous here, Leah, as you get the sense Campbell just trying to ring out the end of this half and go in tied into the locker room.
Right after I said that, I kind of realized that Campbell has settled down. They're starting to play a little bit more possession. They've played a few chip balls over the defense and starting to play their way, and that's exactly what we like to see. We don't want to see them playing too Coastal style, playing balls in and laying balls off, just like we saw there. Unfortunately, there was a handball, but Campbell trying to keep possession and build forward that way rather than forcing themselves to play long balls up top and try to have guys run onto them.
A fantastic comment as the half comes to an end, because, Leah, I think you're exactly right. In that first 15 minutes, you know what? You saw a Campbell team that looked to be scrambling and just trying to get the ball up and out of their zone, but now they've retained a lot more possession, and if you're Campbell, you got to feel very good going into the locker room.
Definitely, we saw the women's team go down 2-0 last week, and they came back to tie it at 2-2 at halftime, eventually winning the game. Being down a goal and then coming back and tying it up, you definitely have the momentum going forward. You catch the other team on their heels and try to force them to kind of raise their game again, whereas Campbell now has the momentum going forward. It's halftime. We'll see how both teams come out, but I'm sure that they're going to have a little bit more energy coming out of this second half than they did at the beginning of the game.
Bennett scoring the goal for Coastal Carolina in the 11th minute, 34-30 to be exact, off the Ribeiro assist. And then Isaiah Page, which is first goal as a collegiate. It came with 6 minutes left in the half. It was the equalizer at the 39th minute. Campbell won, 12th ranked Coastal Carolina won. We'll be back with the second half in 10 minutes from Eakes Athletic Complex.
Women's soccer team back in action tomorrow against Longwood.
Do you have questions about your eyesight but don't know where to find the answers? MyEyesOptometry.com has great videos and other information about services we provide. Call them today to set up your appointment at 919-814-2020 or request an appointment online at myeyesoptometry.com. Southeastern Interiors has everything you need to make that remodel job or new build something spectacular. From the latest styles of carpet, ceramic, hardwood, laminate,